Sound. This is a moose putting out that moose call. You know, when they're looking for a female moose, and they're like, okay,
We know what it sounds like.
So this is gonna be a hot round.
looking pretty good in them horns. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. This is a moose mating call. Is this the real moose or is this Denny's? Why does it sound like Jimmy Stewart?
I feel like that is.
Hey, Clarence.
I feel like that's the,
Every time a bell rings.
that's the beginning. That's like the foreplay.
Is that
That's
it?
what that is.
Okay. Leo, what do you think? Is that Denny's or Animal making that noise?
That is definitely Denny's.
Definitely Denny's, yes. The moose is a loose. Okay.
Denny's are getting it going.
Yes.
It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, called so you spaz, and they love to talk about Bigfoot and stacks. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
What is going on? How is everybody feeling today? Okay. Yeah.
Feeling good.
Good.
Feeling good, feeling good.
Good to hear. Okay.
In my prime, baby.
Yeah. Another day in the wellness category is a day well lived.
I got to give y'all something because it won't last too long. So I got to give you some homemade ice cream.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did the
I did the
ice cream party
Yes.
last night.
I don't know which spoon's going to be better.
It's the red velvet?
I made 2 batches of red velvet.
Yeah.
The first batch I made with the kids is the one that you have, Jay Bird. It's the one with more sugar in it.
Love it.
The second batch I made with the kids is the one that I wanted, which was less sugar, more cream cheese. That's what you have, Kevin.
Okay.
So yours is going to be more cream cheesy goodness, and Jay Bird, yours is going to be more icing and cream cheese.
Now, are you offended if I wait till I go home to eat this?
No, but you got to find a freezer.
I'll go find the gross COVID freezer here at work.
Well, that's so good.
Do you like it?
Oh, it's so good. There's nothing better than homemade ice cream.
It's just fresh.
Yeah.
There's just no preservatives. It's
Right.
it's the way that food was intended to be eaten. And it took for this COVID for me to have time to, I was looking at that thing your wife gave me, because your wife gave me that homemade ice cream maker.
Mm-hmm.
She gave me that thing 11 years ago, and we've used it a handful of times.
You're making ice cream like our ancestors made.
I am.
Old school style.
Old school Quaker style.
All you got to do now is go outside and start churning the butter.
Is there a place to put that so it doesn't all melt on me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going to put it in the COVID fridge.
The
Would you like it?
refrigerator, is that cool with you?
Yes.
The fridge looks like it has COVID.
If it doesn't have COVID, it's got something.
There's some disease.
There is something in there. I don't know, though. Patty got all mad. After they sent everybody home, she kind of runs the whole building. She said, I'm throwing everything out in this fridge because there's no people here. So why should we keep all their crap and their lunches and their food just for it to all go bad? I was like, yeah, Patty, throw it all out.
So we can
it
argue
might-
right now be the best.
It might actually be the best. It might be clean.
We have that one bathroom back there that no one's ever allowed to use, Kev.
Yeah.
But now because no one's here,
Everybody doing it, breaking it in.
everyone here I think uses it now.
Well, I've been using it because you have to touch less doorknobs to get there.
Yeah, I'd rather go to that one. Well, she's right though.
So you're choosing your paths in life based on how many doorknobs you encounter.
And, you guys are all dudes, so, you're not going
I am a
in
dude.
the women's bathroom. But there are other women that work for the other stations here, and they're using that women's community bathroom.
But the only issue though, Virginia, I was thinking about
They're
that.
not using the secret bathroom. The other women aren't using it. But if you guys are going in the secret bathroom, I'm okay with you because I'm here with you. You're in
think
my nest.
Other dudes are using the secret bathroom. That's the only problem. I was going to say either you go to the women's bathroom where it's just the women, or you go to the universal where it's guy and women going to it.
Okay, I set a trap the other day, though, to see how many people are using it. Every time I used it, I would leave a little piece of paper on an area of the seat, and then I would see if someone had moved
You
it.
know you're insane.
You know you've lost your mind.
Wow.
That's what we have come
You're
to.
setting TP traps
I
for
set
people?
a
This
little
is where we
trap
are right now?
because I wanted to
This is
see-
where we are.
Yes, this is where I am. I deducted that only one other person was using it on Monday.
I've heard rumors that there's at least 2 other stations using that bathroom, according to my sources.
How about that, huh?
That's not good information for me.
How about that?
But you want the info?
I do. I need to know.
I mean, you're damned if you do. You're damned. I mean, the women's bathroom, you're just gonna get just as many people in there.
Yeah. Dark times.
It is, and the mind starts playing tricks on you, and you just start. I mean, I'm retraining my brain on how to move and navigate through this world, and what I'm going to touch and what I'm not going to touch, and it's just.
We all have to think a little differently these days.
Am I ever going to go back to the old me?
Well, just go and pee. It takes, what, you 90 seconds to go do that? Now it's almost 10 minutes.
It's a to-do. Everything is a to-do.
Wipe it down.
Yes.
Everything is a process now.
I get the antibacterial afterwards, and I can do this, I can do that.
Yep, that's it. Well, welcome to the new normal, as they call it.
Drink.
Yeah. Well, we are here. Easy to listen to us many different ways. You can download the 97.9 WRMF app. And the thing that I like that is a lot of fun is people are going on there. We have a feature called Mic Drop. And you are able to leave us a little bit of audio that we can check in on. In fact, I would love for people to start leaving updates about the amazingly exciting thing they are doing right now. Because I'm sure it's just, wow, thrilling.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm interested in seeing what people are doing with their day.
Yeah, just like go on there and be like going, hey, what's up, KVJ? This is Bob. I'm counting my socks again. And then that's it.
I got one buddy, his schedule he usually wakes up at 6 a.m. to go to work, but because he's been out of work for 3 weeks now, he's going to bed at like 6 a.m. and waking up at, 2 p.m. His schedule is so discombobulated.
Yeah. A lot of people are kind of going through that.
It's kind of cozy, though, when you can stay up all night and watch movies. I'm not going to lie. That is pretty cool. There's a coziness to that.
Okay.
No?
Yeah,
There is.
there
When you
is.
don't have to wake up.
You're right.
Well, whatever you're doing, you can listen to us that way. Just go to the 97.9 WRMF app. We're online as well. You can go to kvjshow.com. Check us out there. And then if you want to hear us on your smart speakers, if you got one of those at home, just talk to whatever your device is and just say, play the KVJ show, and boom, there we are.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away. Cause you know we need that dirt of the day.
Well, coming up in just a second, it sounds like Post Malone is suing, and there's a countersuit and all kinds of drama over the song Circles. I'll share with you the details on that one. It's scandalous stuff. Before we get into that, it looks like Tracy Morgan is being put on live television for some reason. I don't know if that's the smartest decision. You may want to pre-tape with that cat, because there's a lot of major networks doing stuff, and they're just trying to, cover the story, but yet, have a different angle. Tracy's not the guy you want to take live, because you just don't know what he's going to say.
You can tell people's defenses are down, because normally you're like, Tracy Morgan live. That's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea. Let's pre-tape. Well, somebody put him on live, and here's what that sounded like.
Me and my wife been quarantining here for like 3 weeks, so she's pregnant 3 times. Every week she got pregnant. And we're role playing a lot now. She's playing a young maiden whose grandfather was infected with coronavirus, and I'm the scientist who discovered the cure, and she'll do anything to save her grandfather's life.
Okay.
And I mean anything.
Well, you are a creative one.
I was just watching the show. This tiger in the Bronx Zoo got me scared. So I'm going to get all my pets tested.
Yeah.
I'm getting my sharks tested. I'm getting my moray eel tested. I just bought a 600-pound silverback gorilla. I'm going to take him down to New York Presbyterian and get him tested.
He's going to march a 600-pound silverback gorilla into a hospital.
I just love hearing the news people respond. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whoa, that's interesting.
That was
You might not want to do that.
that was Hoda Kotb.
How do y'all not know Tracy Morgan's going to go off script?
I think she knew, but she was just like, I think they're so desperate for content right now that they put Tracy on, and you can just tell the whole time she's like, "Oh my gosh, please don't get me fired! Please don't get me fired!"
I went to bat for you, Tracy. Please don't.
Yeah.
In other news, Tori Spelling is stirring up a little controversy. She's been on social media, and now she's promoting a virtual meet and greet where you can get a one-on-one video chat with her during this coronavirus. It'll only cost you $95.
What?
And people are like, how can you do this? Lots of celebrities are just giving what they have for free and doing video chats for free.
She's charging right now?
She's charging $95. So a lot of people have vowed to never like her again and unfollow her and all this.
She's canceled.
Did anybody sign up for it?
I'm sure. I mean, think about it. I'm sure there are people signing up for it. Hopefully it's not people that need that $95 for food and they've made the choice to go with her instead of food.
I'm just curious to see the numbers on that. Before all the controversy hit, how many people did sign up and pay for that?
Well, the event is scheduled for tomorrow, so I don't know. I guess we can see the numbers after of how many people actually did it. One of the guys that claims that he co-wrote Post Malone's Circles says that he was cut out of all the profits. He says that he and Post Malone hooked up in August of 2018 to write this song. Tyler Armes is his name, and he says he co-wrote the chords and the bass line and had input on other portions of the song, such as the melody and the guitar parts. He said he did more than enough to earn a writing credit, but when Circles came out, he noticed his name was not on it.
Okay.
He's suing Post to get co-writing credit and a fair cut of future royalties.
Yeah, if you can prove you're part of the melody, that's the big part. Words and melody are your two most important.
Well, he's saying the guitar melody, the bass line, other portions, chords.
Chords, you're gonna. Now you're starting to reach. Chords? I don't know.
You're the songwriter in here.
Yes.
Chords is tougher, too.
You're the songwriter and the filmmaker.
Chords, because there's 9,000 songs with the same 4 chords in a row that are on the radio. You're going to sue everybody? It seems like that's what they're doing.
That seems like one of those songs you're going to hear for a long time, though.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that really
Yeah.
make bank, is you can play them on old people radio stations. So see, like my daughter now, when she gets old, it'll be like, oh, I like Circles.
Circles
You're right.
is great.
Circles could be on Sunny
Yes.
in 15 years.
Yeah, in about 20 years, you're going to tune in and hear Circles.
And that's what's going on in your dirt of the day.
It's time for viral audio.
So hide your kids, hide your wife.
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, what is the prognosis for timetables and people getting ill from the coronavirus? It's not as positive, I guess, if you're listening to the New York mayor.
No, of course we don't have the full picture. And there's huge percentage of people who are infected already don't even know it. Thankfully, most of them get through it pretty well, pretty mildly. But no, this is even bigger than we realize. That's the truth. I expect more than half of all New Yorkers will eventually get infected.
Wow, more than half of all New Yorkers.
So is Florida not going to be a hot spot? Because I keep hearing different things that people are saying, oh, Florida missed the window, and then they're like, Florida did not miss the window.
Well, the way things are looking right now, and here's actually some good news about the pace of the spread of the coronavirus here in South Florida. Yesterday in Palm Beach County, the amount of new cases only grew by 7%. And just 4 days ago, Palm Beach County cases rose by 24% in a 24-hour period.
Okay, so social distancing is working. We're literally slowing it down.
Yes.
And doing that flattening of the curve thing.
I would say that part is positive. Now, the big question about Palm Beach County, if you look at the numbers from county to county to see exactly what is going on specifically in South Florida, what you're seeing is Palm Beach County has been grossly under-tested. Now, yesterday they just opened up a new testing facility in West El Rey. So they'll be able to get more. But right now, the breakdown on cases is Palm Beach County's got 1,159, whereas Miami-Dade's got over 5,000.
Okay, so those positive numbers could be skewed a bit because the testing's so...
Well, they're doing more testing, and that is the good news. They keep opening up more places. But I think that's when you get a true idea of how well we're doing. Is I think it's positive already that from the testing sites we had that the numbers are starting to drop, but they still just need more testing.
Everybody that wants to get tested is not getting tested.
Right. Yeah.
So they're calling the numbers, they're trying to get in, and then they're being told that, no, I'm sorry, all appointments are booked because we don't have enough tests. As long as that's still going on, I don't think you can clearly say you have a real number.
Well, because none of us would be able to get tested. No one in this building could get tested.
And none of us even know, if we had it at some point and we were asymptomatic. And that's why I think eventually everybody needs to get tested to figure out, okay, did I have it? Was I a carrier at one point? Because, I was sick back in December. Could I have had it? What was that, Did I spread it, but I really wasn't sick enough to miss work because I didn't?
Yeah.
So I think until we know all that and everybody gets tested, we really don't know the number.
Do they have a projection of when tests will be available for everybody in South Florida, or is that...
Every single person, I don't think that they have an exact date. I know they are ordering thousands, if not millions more that they're trying to get into the state.
And they're ordering tests for people to see if they had it at some point too. I know MD Now is actually in talks right now. They should be any day now a testing center.
It's interesting because I've had at least 6 people in my own personal life say, man, I'm not kidding you. I feel like I had corona back in December.
And that's what it is. If you had any kind of respiratory issue, any kind of flu, any kind of cold, you look back on it and you're like, oh my gosh, did I have the corones back then? But there's no way for you to know, and you probably didn't have it.
And you could have been just sick, yeah.
If you weren't traveling, if you weren't coming around people from China or Italy or whatever, you probably didn't have it, but your mind starts to think, okay, did I maybe have it?
I was surprised how many people, when we started going down that road yesterday, that thought that maybe they might have had it in December.
I think it's in all of our heads,
Well, that's
December,
the other thing.
January, February, I think it's fascinating now to look and see these tests and when they're going to be available for people to find out if they had it a couple months ago.
Leslie in the chat room said, still seeing a lot of false negative tests. Have you guys seen that? And what's a false negative test? Does that mean it comes out wrong?
I think it's inadequate. Virginia was saying the other day that if you don't get the swab up your nose far enough, it'll come back negative, and it doesn't mean you could have the coronavirus and the test wasn't executed properly.
Or you could be testing when you're very low symptoms, you couldn't, you don't have the full-on corones, just pounding in your system. You have a little tiny bit of it because you've only been experiencing symptoms for 24 hours, and then you got tested, and they didn't stick the stick up far enough in your brain.
So it's like taking a drug test late in the night after you've been drinking a ton of water.
Right. You've diluted it.
It's not real.
All right. Who knows? I think it's going to be really fascinating to see how they handle the testing in the next few weeks and months, and then if they'll eventually get everybody tested so we can have a real number, a true number.
Testing is going to be opening up today with Broward Health. They're doing another unit at Central Broward Park and Broward County Stadium in Lauderhill. So that starts today. Again, you need to have appointments for these places, but by my quick count, you've got at least 7 places that are open doing testing now in South Florida, which is better. So
the other question, and I know you guys probably don't know the answer to this, but maybe somebody in the medical community does. If somebody they don't want to get tested for COVID, but they want to go to the doctor and get tested for pre-existing conditions.
Oh, yeah.
That's still going on right now?
Absolutely. MD Now is doing it, actually, because a lot of people are so worried about their pre-existing conditions flaring up and the doctor's office doesn't want you to come in. You can actually get a health assessment done, either virtually or you can go in physically. They'll draw your blood. They'll do everything.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing some people are actually texting and things saying, hey, I want to let you know what's on my mind. So we got a couple people that are doing that as well. Yeah, why not? We can handle
love
that.
It.
Yeah.
877-979-WRMF. What's on everybody's mind? We'll find out next.
Listen to the KVJ Show live each weekday morning from 6 to 10 a.m. on your home speaker. Just use the voice command, play the KVJ Show. 97.9 WRMF.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
All right, so what you thinking about today, Jay Bird?
Just want to give a Chewy update. I know people were reaching out to me about their animals and stuff.
And the full moon.
The full moon, surprisingly so, a lot of people reached out and said their animals act very bizarre during like a 48-hour period of the leading up to the full moon and maybe even a little bit after. And I know you believe, Virginia, that the full moon kind of controls somewhat of your emotions. How are you feeling with the full moon right now? I know it's a little tough with the corona going on.
Yeah, I'm straight up squirrely, so I don't know how much is corones and how much is moons.
I gotcha, but he's still a little weird. I was running late again today because he gets in these weird moods where, and it's not that often, but it's around the full moon. He doesn't want to eat. He doesn't want to get his medicine. He just acts squirrely. A lot of horse people were saying their horses get all where they're kicking and snarling and farting and doing all that horse stuff.
Really?
Moon farts?
Moon farts.
It's a thing?
Yes. And then somebody also emailed me about how they did that moon water where they left the water out for the moon to absorb it, and that's when you start to get into a little
Okay.
You're supposed to leave your crystals out
Yes.
to recharge under the light of a full moon. I did that once, but then I felt silly, so I stopped doing it.
There are some people that really, really believe in the whole moon thing, and they base their life and decisions on the moon activity.
I know.
So my question is, do people on the other end, do they base their decisions on the sun? Why is the moon getting all the accolades and all the shine when the sun probably gives you answers as well about yourself? Huh, something to think about. I think I broke Virginia's brain.
I think you did too.
I was going to say, it's just buffering. She's just staring at you like,
I'm buffering. I'm like, meh.
Well, I think people in ancient times, they used the sun to make all kinds of decisions. Moon and the sun.
Oh, it was big, yeah.
And the stars. Oh, Virginia.
It's been big for a very long time.
I could bore you about some of the stars out there and what they mean.
I like the moon better because I can look at it and think about it for a long period of time. I don't recommend anybody stare at the sun and try to figure out life.
Yeah, don't stare at the sun, please. But yeah, I've been told, and if you know the answer.
Did you see the moon last night?
It was unbelievable.
It was so big and
So the
so
pink moon,
low.
is that what they called it?
It was beautiful. It looked a little amber pinkish at my place. I don't know about your moon.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Tequesta moons are different.
Yeah, it's very
Oh,
fancy.
yeah, they're better, of course.
Panda was getting on his bike to go for a bike ride, and I was like, Panda, do not get hurt. Be careful on your bike. It's a full moon.
Yes, Mom.
Magnolia gets hurt all the time during a full moon, so we wrap her in bubble wrap.
It's tough for me because I'm always doing something stupid or goofy or I'm
But
spilling stuff.
now is not the time for you to hurt yourself and have to go to the hospital. You do not want to have to hurt yourself and go to the hospital right now.
I know, but you know what? Yeah, I took a terrible tumble down the stairs last night.
Are you okay?
That's debatable.
Again,
if you
huh?
can walk, stay home.
So I do this thing where if Chewy is finally resting and sleeping and I have to get upstairs just for a little bit so he doesn't go all, barky and crazy, I will walk up there very slowly and then I'll just slowly lean back to see how he's doing. And I leaned back a little too far and lost my balance.
Were you drinking?
A little bit.
Okay. All right.
Okay. When you're drinking,
Okay.
don't lean at the top of the stairs.
Oh my gosh, I roly-poly down the stairs. I mean, I hit it so hard. If I was a tree out in the forest, you would have heard it.
That is the definition of a full moon accident.
Oh, I wasn't hammered. I don't want to get that out there. I had a
Falling down drunk. Listen to him.
I had a nightcap and a nightfall.
Some caps are bigger than others.
Yeah. He had a night helmet.
I tried to be finesse with bending down and it didn't work.
Uh-huh. All right, what you got on your mind today, Virginia?
Well, my kids love Panera. I think it's a little overpriced, but I do like Panera too. So Magnolia has the app on her phone, and maybe about 2 or 3 times a month pre-corona, she would say, "Hey, Mom, I really want Panera, will you get it for us, please? I'm like, all right, I'll get you some overpriced soup.
What does she get there?
She loves their chicken noodle soup. Rock loves their mac and cheese.
They got good mac and cheese.
I like their bread.
They got good
put
bread.
that little baguette in there for you. I love that.
Baguettes are, I think they are, you dip it in the soup, it is very good. The baguette,
It is.
It's a nice touch.
It's $12, but it's nice. I mean, it's really, I think, very expensive, but I wanted to make the kids happy yesterday, so when I was driving home, everybody was asking for Panera, so I had Mags order it online. And the great thing about Panera, if you're taking out delivery right now, they are doing it right. So if you order it online, they send you back a message letting you know exactly the minute that your food is going to be ready. And if you want, they will even bring it right out to your car, because on the app now they're asking you what type of car you have, color and make and model. Mm-hmm. So you can pull right up and they will bring it right to your car, or they will leave it right inside the front little door. You don't have to open any doors because they've moved their little cabinet into the front area. You can walk right up and not even have to have contact with a person and just grab your bag and go. And that's what I did yesterday. And I got to just say, you know, in this time of like, I don't want to come in contact with people, it made that transaction very easy and very Corona friendly. Panera, you're doing a good job, even though your chicken noodle soup is way overpriced.
There's certain things, I've been on the show for almost 16 years now, and there's certain things that stick out that I learned. And one of the things I learned was from Kevin talking about Panera. It might have been 8 years ago.
Okay.
And you had taught me how they had this secret menu there.
Yeah.
I never knew about it.
Yeah.
Didn't think it was real. And sure as crap, it is real. They have secret items you say to them that's not on the menu, and they know what you're talking about.
That was real big. A lot of places are doing that. It's kind of like stealth marketing, and people were like, "Ooh, I want to go in there and test this out."
Yeah,
Things
go
that
in
I
there,
can't get.
order the extra nipple.
People love that kind of stuff. It's kind of like why the speakeasies, you know, there's a few in like Fort Lauderdale and Delray and all over South Florida. They have these bars that are inside a bar that are hidden that really nobody's in. And you would think that, why would I want to be at a bar where nobody is? But it's almost like a secret little clubhouse, and you feel smart and in the know when you can get there.
Well, I did it at Panera, and I felt awesome.
Yeah.
And then you also told me about one at Burger King, and I tried to do it at that one, and they had no idea what I was talking about, and I felt like a jackass.
Sometimes it depends. Yeah, not everybody that works there is in the know on
They're like, what, pickle burger? Wait,
And we could have been given bad information, too.
Definitely.
What I got on my mind, I think everybody's probably going to have a place where you say, okay, you know what? I feel like we're coming out of this. What is going to be your, watershed mark that you're like saying, okay, you know what? The floodwaters are trying to recede. What is your olive branch that you will wind up seeing saying, okay, I feel better about this? For me, I'm very confident it's going to be sports. And so I am looking at the numbers that they have, and they'd said, our peak was going to be April 21st. And, so I am kind of paying attention to that. But for me, I do watch the sports world because I love it so much. And the normal for me will be when we can go and pack ourselves into a stadium and watch a football game again and not be like all freaked out. That to me is when life is going to be back to normal. Now, a lot of sports franchises are really pushing for this. I was even seeing today that Miami University's athletic director, James Blake, was saying, look, we can't make up the money if we canceled football season. And so they're feeling a lot of pressure for running the universities and getting sports going again. So what will it look like? They're talking a little bit about Major League Baseball. And I'd mentioned yesterday that in South Korea, they're playing some games, and so MLB is looking a little bit at what they're doing. And now they're suggesting launching the season next month with all 30 teams playing games in various empty stadiums in Arizona. Now, they do spring training there, much like in Florida, but in Florida, our stadiums are more spread out. I think the average miles between stadiums is like 220. Yet within a 50-mile radius of Phoenix, Arizona, you can go to like 20 ballparks. So that's a reason why a lot of people have gone to Arizona with their sports franchise, their baseball team, is because these players don't. You have a prima donna baseball player. You think he wants to get on a bus and drive all the way across the state of Florida? Nah, they just want to hop in a car in their limo and drive, maybe 10 minutes to the next stadium. So what they would do is they'd use those stadiums, and the players would have to sit 6 feet apart like in the stands instead of together in the dugout, and there would be no fans in the stands whatsoever, and they would play the games.
Question: what happens when you have to tag somebody out? What happens when you are in a rundown? What happens when the umpire is there?
They'd have to get rid of rundowns. You can't run to me.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's awesome. They're trying to stay positive. I don't see how it's viable. I mean, you've got all of those people. You've got all of the coaching staff. You have umpires. You've got so many different groups of people, and you're trying to keep them all in the same area. I don't know. It's going to take one person to get infected for them to shut that all down.
You're right.
That
would happen pretty quick.
Well, you can't do social distancing in baseball.
Yeah.
Well, because
or really any sports, and that's the
sport.
thing. Yeah. I mean, imagine if you were doing it in basketball. Okay, you can't guard somebody within 6 feet.
I see what they're doing, and I love the positivity. I think it's a pipe dream. I hope I'm wrong.
I think what they would say is that they would test the players before they go out and start playing, but there's already been some players that have stepped out and said, okay, well, then we would have to pretty much be quarantined the entire season.
And they would have to be tested every day, too.
Yeah, and one of them said, look, I don't want to have to spend 5 months only being able to talk to my kid through a plate glass window.
Well, what if you test negative on Wednesday and then you're playing on Saturday? Shouldn't you be testing?
Something could happen.
You need to be updating the testing, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
And then we got to start testing cleat chasers and mistresses and everybody else, and then it just gets to be real tough. Because you think baseball players are going to stay away from the side action?
And you think the cleat chasers COVID's going to stop them? No.
Yeah, no, exactly. So they're trying to come up with plans, but I don't know if I see anything too positive on the horizon.
Well, if you're itching for some sports, this Friday, me and Denny's head-to-head Major League Baseball video game style.
I think that's, realistically what they're going to have to do. They got a tournament going on right now with NBA 2K and players. Actual players playing each other.
The fact that
he beat you at basketball. If you let him beat you at baseball, which is your sport, it's a dark day for KVJ.
He destroyed me at Mortal Kombat. He had all of his video game friends in the chat room. Just Kevin being so mean. Just being very, very
so
taunty.
Yeah,
because he's the king of video games. They're like, oh, Denny's, hail Denny's. He destroyed me in Mortal Kombat. Barely beat me in basketball. I want blood this Friday in baseball.
You guys play at what time?
We'll say 7. We're going to do 6. We'll do 7:30.
7:30. Okay. All right, 7:30 on Friday night. You can see that streamed. And another quick note, it seems like everybody's jumping on the Tampa Bay Buccaneer bandwagon with Tom Brady coming to town. They just revealed their new uniforms, which are actually their old uniforms they wore when they won a Super Bowl. Yesterday, they already had the Tom Brady jersey out there, so I'm sure people were rushing out to buy the Tom Brady Tampa Bay Buccaneer uniform. And I think we're going to probably start seeing Tom Brady a good bit here in South Florida. He joined Seminole Golf Club in Juno Beach.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, it is.
That's where Elin lives.
There's a lot of highfalutin, high-end people that live there. And I think Tom Brady might have a friend with some business interests that are there. So he's going to be at least joining that country club, and we might see him over here a good bit.
He's living in the house that A-Rod built.
Jeter.
Oh, Jeter built.
Derek
Jeter built. He's just got fancy going on.
Oh, he does. He's got good stuff.
Tom Brady has so much access.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got a couple of texts here. People said, this is what's on my mind. A lot of people are going through this. Somebody texted and said, I'm currently an electrician and I've been deemed essential, and I'm kind of split on how I'm feeling right now. One side, I'm grateful to be working, but I'm also concerned for my wife. I don't really care if I catch this virus, providing for my family, but if she were to get sick, I'd be well beyond upset that this millionaire's mansion was deemed essential work. And that's pretty much what he's working on right now. And a lot of people are having to deal with that, the work versus getting somebody in your family sick, especially if you got somebody at home that has got pre-existing conditions. Also, quick question about the coronavirus. Some guy was sneezing and coughing all in front of my car while I was sitting at the light with the air on. Is there any way that I can come in, or the coronavirus can come in through the vents of your car? Just kind of curious on that.
Now, are you asking Virginia or me? Because Virginia's at, I think, 42% correct on her stats.
So the other day...
I think we might want to go out of pocket for this one. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually thought the same thing when I was sitting at a red light, and I looked down at my air conditioning, and you can press that little button that makes you either recirculate the air in your
Right.
own car or get outside air. I always had it on outside air. I switched to recirculate. I was thinking the same thing, girl.
The other thing I wanted to know, when I was at Walmart, I told you about that one woman that was coughing and sneezing. I kept running into her in the same aisle. It was like we were getting the same items. When I'd be near her, I would hold my breath and not try to breathe for a good 45 seconds and almost pass out. Am I an idiot for doing that? Does that even do anything?
To hold your breath until you get through somebody. I would. Well, I mean, I think the virus still, can get inside your nose and things like that, and that's why they're saying to just cover it because it would filter from the virus getting there.
And I get that because now I'll do the mask, but I guess I'm just asking, if you hold your breath in front of somebody that might have COVID, does holding your breath, is that even a viable defense?
My sister's been doing it in the ICU when they go around a patient. She said a lot of them hold their breath and do what they got to do and then get away and then breathe again.
Wow. Okay.
And she's got all the protective gear on. She's got the face mask, the mask on her mouth, the mask that covers her nose. Like, she's got a lot on, and they've been holding their breath.
She legit told you, I'm holding my breath.
Yep.
Huh.
Okay. Yeah, that seems to be what a lot of people are doing, so that's a good thought.
So if you see me out in public and I'm like, how's it going? I just forget to holding my breath. I'm just trying to be safe.
Just don't pass out from holding your breath.
Mm-hmm. And also, what's on somebody else's mind? Why do the 2020 quarters have bats on them?
What?
That's interesting. I don't know. I haven't looked at a 2020 quarter. And why they would have bats on them, I don't know. Especially with coronavirus around. I know some people believe that it came from a wet market. And
I thought it came. I thought somebody told me that it came from a bat. Is it not? Is that fake?
It came from the wet markets in Wuhan, and it was animal. I don't think they've necessarily done it, but I did a deeper dive read on bats and how they transmit diseases, and they have. A lot of times they're immune from the disease the virus taking effect inside them, but they're a good carrier for it.
And I'm not trying to be nitpicky, but I'm looking over here at Virginia, and she's got a large pocket of coins here, and they say money is the dirtiest thing out there.
I'm looking for a bat quarter.
But is it possible? It could be on money. Or is that
What's that?
The COVID?
Oh yeah.
This money has been in my purse for weeks. So anything that it would have been on a surface with COVID, it would be dead by now because I haven't pulled out this little coin purse in a while. I use this for parking meters. Your girl ain't been going downtown to park.
Okay, so not that stupid of a question?
No, not a stupid question. I think anything that you fear that it could be on the surface of, don't touch it for a while, and then you can touch it again because they say it doesn't stay on the surface forever. It eventually dies on the surface. That's why I've been leaving packages out on the front porch. If I get stuff, I leave it in my trunk of my car for a few days. I don't touch it.
The quarter that came out in February 2020, yes, does have Samoan fruit bats on it. It's to raise and promote awareness of the threatened species. But with coronavirus going around and a lot of people talking about bats and not in a way that, I mean, imagine that if you're like very worried about the coronavirus, you look at your quarter, you've got a bat on you, I can't get away from it.
Well, then you think, wait a minute, coins coming out with bats on it, and this thing might have come from bats. What the hell's going on here?
Interesting timing that now is when we release the quarter with the fruit bat on it.
Dang, there's a lot of different stuff on these quarters.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Yeah, keep touching it.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Come on.
This is freaked out about coronavirus. Is doing a deep dive in her change purse.
Yeah, Kev, don't feel bad because, those are 4-week-old quarters.
These have been in my purse for a while.
We're good. They didn't travel at all to New Orleans with her.
Yeah.
If you love KVJ on the radio, you'll love them even more on Instagram. Follow at KVJ Show. 97.9 WRMF.
Well, doing what we can for bartenders. Virginia's over there counting her change again right now. Didn't you just disinfect and then you went back to the change?
Well, now I got to put it back in the coin purse, and then I got to disinfect again.
Oh, my goodness. Madness, Virginia. Yeah, Virginia's over there like figuring through all of her change, and I'm like, aren't you all worried about the coronavirus? And
I wanted to see if I had a bat quarter.
And then she makes a point of being like, I got to disinfect. And then I hear her over there jingling through the change again.
Kevin,
Insanity.
I never claimed to be sane. Never. I've never said that to you.
I mean, you couldn't go through a dirtier thing where so many hands have touched.
I know, but I'm going to antibacterial again after I do it. I'm just putting them back in the coin purse, damn it.
Okay.
Trying to see if I had a bet quarter.
And you don't.
And she
I
doesn't.
don't.
Was it worth
the newest quarter I have
What a
is like,
pointless exercise.
What a terrible
got
thing.
some girl sewing on it.
Yeah. Huh.
So not cool,
Well,
like the bat quarter.
I really am not updated on my coin stuff. People are sewing. We have bats. What
Yeah.
happened to Lincoln?
There's like 15 different things on 15 different quarters in my little change purse.
Exciting.
Yeah, one of the worst breaks of radio right there.
Yeah. No doubt. Well, what we're doing here is we're trying to help out those that have been laid off, and that's a lot of people. There's just so many people to try to help out there that, we've been focusing on bartenders the last couple of weeks. Next week, we're going to move to servers and do what we can if you have any kind of like virtual tips. The thing that is really cool about what is going on right now is just how some people are stepping up, which I think is great. There's a new survey that found the past 2 weeks, more than 1 in 5 Americans have donated to causes that are helping other people who have been impacted by the crisis. So that's really great. 20% of us are stepping up and saying, I got a little bit extra money. Let me share the wealth. And Adopt a Bartender is just one of those things you can do. Go to our website, kvjshow.com. We got area bartenders from South Florida that are on there. And what it's all about is them just giving out their Venmo, their name, where they used to go. And if you'd be like, oh, I used to go there, or I know that bartender, you can go to kvjshow.com and Venmo them some money, kind of like Omar here.
Hey guys, my name is Omar. I bartend over at Penny's at the Duke in Lantana. It's been kind of hard trying to keep food in the fridge. No income coming in right now, and I could really use some help. Again, I want to thank you guys for doing this for the bartenders, and great way to help everybody in the community.
There you go. So go to kvjshow.com and drop some money there. And I did see another positive here that looks like federal stimulus checks may start arriving this week.
Nice.
So I know a lot of people are holding out for the money. And boy, I don't know if you saw yesterday in Hialeah, the footage of people standing in line. It was definitely not some social distancing that you would want, but people were like, look, we need some money. It was aerial footage there. It showed hundreds of residents that were out trying to get paper applications for unemployment benefits.
Yeah, because the system was so messed up.
Yeah.
They had only set it up to where it could process like 40,000 at a time. Then they upgraded it. Now it can process like 120,000 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But people were still like, I can't get it. Maybe they don't have Wi-Fi. Maybe they don't have a fast connection. So they were taking paper applications.
Yeah,
But I mean,
it's been tough. I watched the Mexican Queen do it. She spent like 8 straight hours. She would get, and there was like 5 steps you had to do. She would get to 3 or 4, and then boom, would get booted off the system. And
they had a government official, I can't recall which one it was. He said, this is criminal that they set this up this way. And whoever was in charge of not upgrading this system when they were warned should go to jail.
Well, there's a lot of flaws that you're finding in the system now. But they are asking Governor DeSantis and the Department of Economic Opportunity to give workers retroactive pay to the date they were laid off, recognizing that a lot of people are having issues with the electronic filing, and people are saying, oh my gosh, I'm losing benefits, and as the clock is ticking, I'm just sitting here losing money. So they're asking for the retroactive pay that would go back, which might hopefully people don't feel as stressed to get on the system to get the money right now. If the stimulus checks start coming in, they'd be like, okay, I can wait another week to do that. And then maybe this, jank system can try to catch up. So.
Yeah, because it's not your fault if the system is jank and you're just trying to get the money that you've been promised.
Yeah, they said on Monday the state had a backlog of more than 500,000 applications.
Hey, my goodness.
Wow.
That's a lot of stress right there. All those people stressing.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. So they're working on hopefully offering retroactive pay for workers who were laid off after March 1st. So if you have the date, that's what they're talking about doing. And they've also mentioned, too, that they're saying, hey, I mean, right now they're doing a $275 maximum payout that you can receive a week through the state system. Now, they've had that same pay for 22 years, and life's changed.
Big time.
$275. Good luck living on that for a week.
I thought they were doubling it.
They may be. The story that I had is that was an issue. Hopefully, maybe they've pushed it ahead and there's an updated part to the story. So I'd seen this it's about a 30-hour-old story. So
interesting.
So things could have changed, Virginia.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's just it. I keep hitting refresh on stories.
On life?
On just everything. And I'm like, I almost hate to ever say anything at all because
it could change
in 10 minutes. And I know when we get in here to do the show, I'm, handcuffed a little bit more to be able to get updated information.
Well, I hit refresh and I'm like, a tiger's got COVID? What?
Yes. I know. It's crazy. So there you go. Somebody said, I heard on the news this morning that FedEx is going to be printing out the applications for free at all their locations. Okay. That'd be nice. And somebody said, hey, Kev, tell the Mexican Queen I was able to claim my husband's benefits on unemployment website. I had to set my alarm for 3 a.m. in order to do it.
Okay. You go when it's not that busy. That's smart, girl.
Yeah, and somebody else said, I have super fast internet, and I tried to apply for unemployment online for a day and a half straight, and I finally found the printable form and just mailed that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was just it. A lot of people were yesterday looking at that line in Hialeah. A lot of them were wearing masks, but at the same time, they're just like, oh, man, that's really close for a lot of people to be together right now.
Vicious V, I want to thank you for bringing that mask for me this morning. You brought it, right?
I've ordered it.
Oh.
Somebody's making it.
Got ya.
I don't know what you want from me.
It's like having a third child, isn't it?
Every day I bring you a gift, but it's not good enough.
He's got beans or masks.
Everybody comes in here. It's like baby Jesus. Everybody comes in here with a gift for him, but he's still not happy.
Still not satisfied.
Still wants to bring. I've ordered you a mask. I've actually ordered you one that's custom for you.
Oh.
So
I was just kidding, Mom. I love the beans, by the way.
I don't think you do.
I do. I love them.
Ingrate.
I love my beans.
Great.
Just teasing you.
Well, I know a lot of people are quarantined in very interesting situations, but how many of you are quarantined with spirits? Jaybird, you say the ghost activity in your apartment has been off the charts here recently.
It has been off the charts, Virginia. It was so bizarre yesterday.
That's what you get when you open the portal and invite them in. You have no one to blame but yourself.
Well, okay, don't yell at me. I was going to tell a story, but now I'm not comfortable telling it.
No, tell us.
I swear, I was just kidding about the mask.
She's still holding on to
that. Oh my gosh, don't
yeah.
I have my own lion mask. We're good. Yes, so I'm taking a shower.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in the shower, and I swear to you, it wasn't something from the outside. I hear a man's voice right by the entrance of my bedroom into my bathroom go like this. Hey! Really loud.
Are you sure it wasn't the dog?
No, it was definitely not the dog. My dog can't go upstairs, and he doesn't talk, so it definitely wasn't my dog. It was a man saying, hey! Like, then Chewy starts to bark. It was not coming from outside. It was coming from within. So I turn off the shower.
Could it be your neighbor and it's coming through the wall?
All of those are probable things, but I don't think it is, Virginia. I know the difference between somebody screaming in my bathroom and somebody screaming through a wall. It wasn't like that. I know that's what the naysayers would say.
I'm just trying to look at every angle.
I agree, but I got out of the shower. I didn't see anybody outside, but it sounded like somebody was in my bathroom going, hey! And then Chewy starts barking and going crazy.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And it really wasn't coming from the wall, Virginia. I can't hear anything through my walls anyway, unless it's, an animal.
We should rig up your place with a bunch of cameras.
That's what people are asking. Now's the time to.
Yeah.
What else are we doing?
Why not? You can order them online and have a bunch of little cameras sent right to your crib, and then Denny's is really good with that stuff. Have him install them.
Well, I think we'll have Vicky and her ghost team do it. Well, that's the thing.
You can't have
quarantining.
you can only have Denny's. Don't have Vicky.
That's right.
Just have Denny's.
But then if it's not done, that's the only problem. If it's not done officially through a ghost team.
Well, you can FaceTime Vicky and she can help Denny's and walk him through.
I'm just saying, this is what people are going to say. They're going to say, oh, it wasn't official. And
tell people to go scratch. You're doing the best you can right now.
Was the ghost at least 6 feet away from you?
I don't think that ghost is practicing social distancing.
Yeah, see, this is where it's not cool.
I see what you're saying. I see it could be someone from my neighbor, which I do not believe because it doesn't sound like that. And it wasn't from outside, but I would see why a naysayer would think that. But it wasn't that. It was something different.
Do ghosts normally scream or yell out? I don't know if I've ever heard. I mean, whenever you have Halloween, there was ooh and ghostly noises. But is anybody who I've never seen one of those ghost shows? Is that common for ghosts to make actual audible noises?
Sometimes, that's
other than banging around with things.
That's what EVPs are. Remember, I don't think people remember.
But you don't hear that yourself. Like, that's an electronic device that's picking that up. You heard this with your own ears. This isn't off of an electric device. And I've not heard that.
People do hear it sometimes. I think it's more of the rarer things, but yes, you can't hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, you are honestly, it feels like just a season away from a full-out Ghostbusters. Like, I'm going to look up in the sky, and I'm going to see just this light, and I'm going to be like, there's Jaybird's condo.
Yeah, I know some people think I'm lying, and I totally get that, and I understand that. And I say to them, if you want to come over after all of this Corona stuff is over, come on over. See for yourself if you feel anything, if you have an experience.
You did a tour on the KVJ Show Facebook page with a Facebook Live video of the area and the porthole that you believe, and so does some ghost experts.
Vicky, I would say Vicky thinks either my bathroom or the closet area. Well, that's where I hear howling. That's where I hear sometimes whispering.
And so what? So some spirit just opened up the ghost doors like, hey, and then she shows like, and he's like, hey, I just freaked that guy out.
Well, I personally think I'm at home more now too. So I'm changing the dynamic of how the whole place is. And sometimes I feel like when that changes, activity starts to happen. When my dad moved into my old place and that started going down, when he moved in there, we had a lot of activity at our old place. We think that I'm always bringing things with me.
Do you think a spirit had anything to do with you falling down the stairs last night?
That's a great question,
Were you pushed or were you just overserved?
I don't know.
There's a spirit somehow involved.
That's a great question.
It may be Jameson or it may be James the Ghost.
We don't know.
Someone argued because I was down on my defenses, that was a great time to strike me.
That's what they say. The ghosts like to spin you around and get you all upset, and when you're weak and tired.
It's actually more dangerous for Jaybird to stay at home.
It actually is.
Ironically, the stay-at-home order is bad for your health. Well, it doesn't seem like there's really a lot going on in the birthday world here today. Jen A. from Forrest Gump is about the only celebrity I even know is having a birthday today.
Robin Wright?
Yeah, you're right.
Boom. How the hell do I know that?
I know. Look at you, huh? Impressive stuff. Must be the eye patch.
It must be.
Yeah.
It hurt your performance yesterday, but is it helping today?
It actually just hurts. It's not a very comfortable eye patch.
Let me see here. A quick correction. Somebody texted in and said he's not the CEO of Twitter. He's the owner of Twitter and Square. Please. Okay.
I don't know. Well, TMZ says he's Twitter's CEO. He also is the CEO of Square, but I think people know Twitter more than Square.
Yeah.
I'm just reading the story,
Yeah, I
guys.
thought I saw
Yeah,
CEO
let's
too.
keep arguing this point.
Does it matter?
No, doesn't matter.
The guy's given a huge amount of money. Let's focus on
Yeah.
that and how all of these billionaires should be taking his lead and doing that. That's amazing.
He's the CEO.
All right. Maybe you're right. I don't care.
Coming up here in a second, what would you say is the biggest way that your kids, maybe even particularly Rocco, embarrasses you, Virginia? If you had to guess here, they have a list of the top 10 ways kids embarrass their parents. They did a poll of parents.
I would say pre-corona, him in the grocery cart, when we've been there about 20 minutes, he got a shelf life. He expires at about 20 minutes, and he will start cursing and yelling at me if I don't get him the things he wants.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got to get in and get out.
Okay.
That's pretty embarrassing when your child is cursing at you because you won't give them sour gummies.
That's number one on the list. 33% of parents have said that their kids have shouted something inappropriate in public. That's number one on the list of the top 10 ways kids embarrass their parents. Well, Virginia knows what it's all about. Number one on the list of the top 10 ways that kids will embarrass you. This is why parents, when they get their revenge, when their kids get to that I'm too cool for everything age, they enact revenge, because when their kids were younger, they were embarrassing them. I think it's just a revenge tactic. Number one, you nailed it, Virginia, shouting something inappropriate in public. 33% of parents have said their kids have done it. And really, you're kind of handcuffed because they realize you don't want to be judged as that bad parent, how terrible the kid is, and it's a reflection on you. And so they can, a lot of times, kids will try to handcuff you, be like going, I want this. Like, oh, yeah. Then they yell some expletive out.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, it is. It's a tactic. Some of the other things that they had, tell me how many of these things Rocco is responsible for doing, Virginia?
How many are on your list?
There's 10.
I can tell you right now, 10.
Okay, we got number one on the list, shouting something inappropriate in public. We'll give Rocco a point. How about undressing in public?
Yes, he loves to be in the yard naked.
As a kid, I loved that too.
He loves to pee in the yard naked.
That I get, even as an adult.
Okay. Accidentally taking something without paying for it. A little klepto. Has he ever stolen anything?
I mean, he is very slick. I'm sure he has, and I haven't noticed because he definitely moves things and takes things from us all the time.
I just accidentally stole Doritos from Walmart. I didn't mean to. I guess I didn't put it to the self-check.
It happens.
I'm sure I've paid for double Doritos before as well, so.
Okay, made up for it. Number 3, accidentally taking something. Okay, number 4, getting lost in a store.
Yes.
Okay.
Freaked me out. I was seconds away from yelling Code Adam.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids have done that.
Seconds.
Yeah.
I did that with Magnolia when she was little. She was more innocent about it. She was just like playing around and hiding in the clothing racks like all the kids do.
Right.
Rocco will do it and just to mess with you. He'll go and he'll hide and he'll just lay in wait and watch you. To
freaking out?
Watch
That's
you
a different level of diabolical.
Yep.
Does everybody know about that Code Adam? Because I just feel like if I went through majority of stores and did that, nobody would know what I'm talking about.
Well, you just pray that the manager on duty knows and that they close the doors, because that's what it is. If you yell Code Adam, they're supposed to immediately close and lock the doors of the store so nobody can get out, but especially somebody with a kid.
I wonder if people that work in stores know that.
Well, if they don't, it's real.
Okay.
And a lot of places, if they practice it, there'll be a sticker on the front door of the store that says Code Adam, right where you see the stickers that say like MasterCard accepted here.
Would a Publix do a Code Adam, you think?
I don't know. I haven't asked that question specifically, but it's a good question.
That's interesting to me.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that they did that. So
I didn't either.
It's good to know.
It's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know how widely practiced it is.
It's an Adam Walsh thing. Mm-hmm.
Adam Walsh thing. And back when Magnolia was, 3 or 4, so that would have been like in 2007 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah, you did a Code Adam.
Oh, I screamed Code Adam.
Did they lock it down?
They did lock it down. And then I was very embarrassed when we found her 10 seconds later. I mean, it was a little premature.
That's the equivalent of going to the emergency room thinking you have a heart attack and it's just a panic attack. I get the embarrassment.
So far, Rocco's got 3 out of 4 here.
Okay.
Public tantrums.
Yes. We've done that also in Publix. I'm sorry, Publix. A lot of our stuff happens.
Publix see the Snickies coming like, oh boy.
They really do.
Get ready.
Oh.
They say Code Adam just to lock you guys out.
They say Code Adam so we can't get in. They've got to love us not bringing the kids in there. You know, I leave the kids at home or in the car now.
They're loving coronavirus.
For that, yeah.
Being messy with food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
I mean, he throws so much food everywhere.
That's probably what it is, because this is all about the top ways kids embarrass their parents. So being messy with the food, the only thing to me that's embarrassing about that is that, they were maybe throwing it. Or
would you be embarrassed if Rocco was farting out loud in public? Like he was constantly farting. Would that embarrass you, or would you think it's funny?
It depends on if anybody else could hear it.
Yeah, people can hear it.
Oh, then I'm a little embarrassed.
I think it's funny.
I think
I'd be all right with that.
But he doesn't stop, though. He's a farting machine.
I don't know. Maybe I think it was fun. It depends on who he farts on.
I mean, Chewy farted in front of a delivery girl one time, and she was really, really good looking. He farted in front of, he humped her leg, and then as he was walking away, he farted, and I was kind of embarrassed by the whole ordeal.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Here's what I think of you. Hitting a sibling.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
He does that every day.
Have you answered yes on every one of them?
All but one.
I don't think he's stolen anything, but
Yeah.
I'm not positive. You'll have to ask him.
Arguing with a sibling, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Number 9 on the list of the top ways kids embarrass their parents, asking embarrassing questions out loud. That a lot of times will happen if you have somebody who looks a little bit different than what is in your immediate family, and they ask a question about that. Could be a size-related question.
Sure. You could also be in the bathroom at Home Depot, and it's a multi-stall thing, and you're in the bathroom because you had to go, and it was an emergency situation, and your kid is playing in the sink, and your kid asks you loudly why you're taking so long going poo.
Okay, so I assume that's happened.
That's happened.
Okay, all right.
I remember I asked a very inappropriate question in Winn-Dixie one time. To the point, it was one of those stories that my parents always told.
What'd you ask?
I can't even say it on the radio.
What?
We have to wait to the podcast.
Oh, that's good stuff.
And finally, here, number 10, knocking over a store display. 21% of parents said that their kids have done that to embarrass them. Has Rocco ever knocked over a store display?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's definitely done that as well.
Where and how did that happen?
That actually happened at the mall. He knocked over a whole thing at Macy's.
Oh.
It had a mannequin and everything on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. He's in the 90th percentile, you could say, of embarrassment, Virginia.
Well, I knew that going in.
And some people are calling him out for stealing my keys in my toy chest.
He did.
I never found. I had to order new keys.
He was playing with Jason's keys, and I think he put them in his pocket.
Yeah, I never found those keys.
He's stolen people's keys for sure.
And
You're
someone
not
else-
the only victim.
Someone else is saying, didn't he steal a remote at one point?
Yeah, he did. We still can't find it.
Okay, so yeah, I stole it.
Drama, drama, you got drama and you gotta tell all. You love to complain about your pain. Hey, you're Facebook fishing. Facebook fishing.
Now, there's a lot of craziness going on, whether it be Facebook or the Nextdoor app or whatever it might be. A lot of people are just venting. They're going onto their social media and saying what they need to say.
I think you need to redo that song and turn it into next door fishing.
It almost is, yeah. Almost is.
It'll give you a project.
Yes.
Okay, so we got Zane posting up about the Tiger King show from Netflix. Denny's, I'll have you play the role of Zane. I'm going to play the role of Rick here. Virginia, you get to be Angela. And Jaybird, you're playing the role of Pete today in this post, okay?
Sounds good.
I love it.
Oh, Angela sounds like this lady that messaged me on Instagram. Very mad.
Take that. Use
Yes,
that.
I'm going to become her.
Okay. All right, Zane, you start things off here.
All right. Anyone who talks great about the Tiger King show from Netflix is a piece of human garbage. You're not. You're just as bad as those big cat trappers. You should be ashamed.
Sounds like somebody's triggered and needs a safe space. Toughen up, Buttercup. I hate soft men who come off like wussies. It's just tigers, dude. They would kill you without thinking twice.
Zane is right. People think Tiger King is funny, but y'all are part of the problem. Unfriend me if you think I'm being too much. If you support the Tiger King documentary, I don't want you as a friend anyway. And Rick, you sound like an unstable alcoholic.
This might be a little off topic, but a tiger tested positive for COVID-19. Netflix is really stepping up their promotional tactics for this Tiger King show.
All I gotta say is Joe Exotic for President 2024. The Tiger King rules. Suck on that, Zane and Angela. You snowflakes crack me up. Go cry somewhere else other than Facebook. It's pathetic.
I'd rather be a snowflake than some tiger pimp. Anyone who loves this documentary should lose their jobs. Your love for reality TV has turned you into a heartless maggot.
The Tiger King show was amazeballs. I loved it. Well, I guess I'm just a heartless maggot. I guess I should lose my job. People complain about how awful Tiger King is can kiss my Tiger King loving ass. I bet Zane won't call me a maggot to my face. P.S. Zane, by the way, is a bitch name.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Wow. The crazies are out today. Rick, you sound like you need anger management and then a good ass kicking. Your toxic masculinity isn't wanted here.
Who needs Netflix when you can get great entertainment like this thread? Damn, y'all love and take Tiger seriously, huh? Did you see that there's already some Tiger King porn already? It's not that hot, but I still watched it.
Is there really Tiger King porn already?
I will look it up, although work blocks you out from looking at porn.
They can't block what you do on your phone.
I don't think you can get on your. I don't think you can get on porn on your phone.
Really?
He's tried.
Go off the network and just do.
Go off the grid at work, and then I'm looking at porn. I don't know.
Or just go home.
Just go
At that point, just go home. Who is legit? We have a legit homicide detective on here with us. The other person is not. We just have to try to figure out which is which here. Now, you can tell Denny's has came up with their aliases here today because we have Lieutenant Columbo on here. Denny's is a massive Columbo fan.
He's got every episode on DVD.
Aww.
He does. Okay. And we also have Detective Monk. These are my dad's two favorites, by the way. He's a big fan of both of these. All right. So one of them is a legit homicide detective. The other is a complete and total fraud. We just got to try to figure out who is who. Okay. All right. We'll start off here with Lieutenant Columbo in the first question. Give us the overall broad description of the biggest case you have ever worked on. How many dead and what was the cause of death in that case, Lieutenant Columbo?
That's kind of a difficult one. I would have to probably say the most recent one was involving an incident in parking. And that would be on February 14th.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right. So you worked that one. All right. How about you, Detective Monk?
Well, first off, I'd like to say good morning to you. These are tough kind of questions. I would have to say I worked on a case involving 16 deaths on a city bus, which was pretty devastating.
Okay. 16 deaths on a city bus.
Those both sound heavy. I don't know how y'all do what y'all do.
Oh, I know. No, this is a really tough field to be in, to be a homicide detective. So they say those are the two biggest cases that they've been involved with. What is your question here for who is legit homicide detective, Virginia?
That one guy has detective voice. He sounds like
They both do.
It sounds like a cop.
You think one's better than the other?
One sounds better, but then one's information's better.
I've got. I don't know. It's close.
It's a good one.
It's close after round one. What do you think, Virginia? What's yours?
All right. Tell me your take on internal affairs investigations. How do you feel about them?
Okay, we'll start with Detective Monk.
How do I feel about internal affairs? Could you, and again, I'm coming off of an all-nighter right now. Can you be a little more specific for me on what do you specifically mean there on that? I'm not trying to be.
No, sir, we're sorry she's being so difficult. She's really tanking this bit. It would be a lot smoother if she didn't talk.
Yeah, maybe you should book her. I mean, like, specifically the people that do the investigations and how all that is set up and that whole thing. It's fascinating to me that there's a department of the police that's in charge of making sure the police investigate themselves and do things the right way. I'm just fascinated by all that.
I mean, I'm familiar with it. I understand where you're coming from, but it's not a focus of my specific daily duties. You know, it's not part of my routine. I've never been involved in being investigated myself. Fortunately, I mean, I do take, you know, the right path with my career and you know, so I mean, it's not something I've ever been involved in. I know of it, and I mean, I think it's a good thing. It is. It keeps us all where we need to be. It keeps us on track. It keeps the good guys in and the bad guys out, and that's. I mean, I know it sounds terrible.
That's okay. Yeah, it wasn't a great question. It was not a great question, officer.
Do you have an answer for that, Lieutenant Colombo, about internal affairs? He just
yeah, with regards to internal affairs, as long as I'm not a target of that investigation, I really don't have a great opinion on internal affairs. So
gotcha. Okay.
Boy. All right. That really didn't go anywhere. Who's the bit killer now?
All right, Jaybird, do you have a question for our homicide detectives here?
I do. Let me set this up. It's going to be a little role-playing. Now, I am suspected of committing a murder, and you know that I've done it, and you got me on the ropes. I want you both to give me your little spiel, what you would do to try to get me to crack, where I go, yeah, I did it. I did it. Give me
a tactic that you might use to get someone a little confused to trip up to make a confession.
Well, just you're turning up the heat on me. You're putting the screws to me. I want to hear how you guys would do it. I'm the murderer. Give it to me.
Okay, we'll go with Lieutenant Colombo first. A questioning tactic you might use.
Role playing now, like I'm really the criminal.
I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to gain your confidence, your trust. I'm going to talk to you a little bit and make you feel comfortable with me. And then I'm going to kind of push out that, you know, that it really wasn't, you didn't commit this murder. It was an accident, that you accidentally did that, and accidents happen. And,
well, I mean, I wasn't anywhere near the dead body, Lieutenant. I was nowhere near that. People know where I was at.
Maybe you were blacked out and you were on drugs and you didn't know what you were doing. So maybe you forgot that you were there.
I might have been a little blacked out.
But it's whiskey.
Yes, it's
correct. It might have been the alcohol that that made you do it.
Okay, Detective Monk, what would you do here? You've got this guy. He's done it. You believe it. Try a little tactic on maybe trying to switch things around on him so he would actually admit to the crime.
You got me on the ropes.
I mean, there's a lot of variables here. I mean, you know, again, like what Detective Colombo said, I mean, that is...
Y'all doing it wrong. Y'all supposed to act like it's happening. You're supposed to role play with me. I'm the criminal. How would you talk to me in the moment?
What did you do?
A murder.
See, I've already done it. You hear him talking?
Yeah, I've already done it. He just admitted. You go.
I've already done tactic one.
It's over.
David,
he just admitted to it. No, they're not doing it right. I did a murder. Okay, I'm finished. All right, congratulations.
You know what? I need a lawyer.
Okay, all right. We're trying to get through here. I don't know. I'm actually very confused now. Going in, neither question's provided a lot of clarity here.
You got the balls to accuse me of doing a bad job.
No, I already by doing that little role playing, I already got my answer.
Oh, you do?
Oh,
okay.
Big time.
I am going to ask another one here. I'm still not dialed in on who is legit here. We're looking for which one of these two gentlemen is really a homicide detective. My question is, what would you say is the most valuable tool of your trade? The thing that you need the most being a homicide detective. What is your answer, Lieutenant Colombo?
Nowadays, it's going to be DNA testing. That is by far our best evidence that we need.
Okay. And Detective Monk, do you have a different answer?
I'm going to go with just basic data, the cell phone, GPS tracking. I'm going to go with the social media. You know, I solve a lot of cases through social media. You would not believe how many of these criminals are willing to put so much information out there.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't know who it is. Do you?
They both are pretty legit right now. I think I got one that's in a slight lead. Okay. Do you want to ask another question here, Virginia, of who is legit?
Oh, that's a big.
No, sir. I rest.
Jaybird, anything else?
I just want to do more role-playing questions.
This isn't your bedroom.
I'm kidding. No, I think I got my answer.
You got your answer?
I got my answer. I'm ready to go.
Okay. My final question, I just wanted one more here because I am kind of tied on this. What is your roundabout annual salary? How much could you make as a homicide detective? I'll ask you first, Detective Monk.
I average realistically with bonuses. I'm somewhere in that 56,000 a year area.
Okay.
That's just me, not counting my wife.
Gotcha. Okay. And how about you, Lieutenant Colombo?
I would say it ranges between 100 and 150,000 a year.
Okay. All right. Which one of these two guys do you think is legit?
Easy.
Really?
The role-playing question blew it out of the water.
All right, which one is it?
It's the first gentleman.
What's his name?
Lieutenant Colombo.
Okay, you think it's Lieutenant Colombo.
It's definitely Colombo. Because when Virginia asked that terrible question, he went on a very long, boring answer. It was definitely, it's him.
Virginia, who do you think it is? Is it the first guy, Lieutenant Colombo, or Detective Monk?
Well, I agree with the bird, but not for the same reasons about my boring question and the boring answer.
Well, it was just more confusing, I should say.
I think it's Colombo, but I'm just guessing. I think they both did a great job.
They did a great job.
They both sounded like detectives.
Yeah, no, I think they did a great job.
And I don't know what detectives make.
It was... and they both had very radically different answers. One said 56K, one was like well over 100.
And the tools of the trade, they both brought up great things. DNA is awesome. I watched Dateline. DNA is awesome, but also the cell phone pinging is very important. The phone records are very important on Dateline.
The one guy had good detective voice. He really did. But was his voice too detective?
Okay. All right, here we go. I am going to go with Lieutenant Colombo as well. So that's 3. Lieutenant Colombo, are you the legit homicide detective?
Yes, I am.
Whoa, we got it. We got
You
lucky.
guys got me on that first question. It was probably the giveaway.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought too. That was the most telling. Very nice. Well, Detective Monk, you did a fantastic job coming on here and acting today. We really appreciate it.
Not a problem, and I'm glad to hear he's making well over 100,000 a year.
Yeah.
What agency are you with?
A lot of hours put in, though. A lot of hours for that.
Okay.
But you deserve it.
Know it or not, I am a
hours.
resident.
Not very much.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, you got a nice, fun profession to do for Who Is Legit. You can send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com.
It's KVJ. When and where you want it. Listen to the KVJ Show and the After the Show podcast daily, commercial free. Search your smartphone's podcast app to listen for free. 97.9 WRMF.
Well, yesterday we tried the social distancing dance-off, and we had some technical issues, and it didn't go great. So we, after the show, did the dance-off on Facebook Live, where each of our dancers, Virginia and Jaybird, both got 10 seconds to dance, and then we took a vote after that round. Jaybird won the first 2 rounds, but I was really kind of going through some of the comments last night, and a lot of people felt like it really was not judged correctly. Now, we were just going on comments that were left there, and I kind of put it on the people that were in the the chat. I mean, they were casting their votes, but they said what Jaybird was doing was not dancing. It was just a comedy act, and he was getting votes for his comedy, not for his dancing. Virginia was clearly the better dancer in that dance-off yesterday.
That's fine. You can give it to her.
Ah, so the rig was in. Look at that.
You can give it to the witch. Honestly, give it to her, and we can get over this really quick. You're the dance champ. I clearly was not the better man.
I think what it might let you know is that, we were talking about doing this dance-off with you guys, and it was going to be more serious. It was going to be a lot more riding on the line. I think yesterday's social distancing dance-off showed us what we need to do to really get a winner, and I think that is getting some unbiased dance instructors, people who know dance, who are not going to be biased by listening to the show, or I'm going to give you comedy points or whatever. I'm going to base this on your ability to dance.
And plus, we'll have time to practice and do a routine.
Yeah. So I think, without a doubt, that was the biggest thing I took away from that, is that whenever you guys do this legit dance-off you've been talking about for about 2 years now, that when it finally does happen somewhere, and hopefully you don't,
I mean,
have hip replacement surgery before then.
I'm excited because my choreographer is back in the lab and he's actually putting out TikTok videos right now. So as soon as we're able to hang out together, I do want to do this.
Okay.
The real dance off, not just the silly one spur of the moment.
And I too am excited because my knee finally stopped bleeding this morning.
Yeah, you really get down in the dirt. You love backspins. You love the worm.
What I lack in talent, I make up in heart.
Yeah, you definitely put a lot of heart and passion
So,
into it.
you do what you got to do.
If you missed that yesterday, you can go to the KVJ Show Facebook page, and you can see the video that is up there. So it is posted right there on our Facebook Live page. So go and check that out. Well, it is time for another World Record Wednesday. Got some good stuff here. Jaybird last week tried the jumping jacks. He was doing really amazing, and then kind of like after it finished, we noticed on the video that he had stopped moving his legs about halfway through.
He was doing opposite jacks.
Yeah, it was just kind of jumping up and down. His hand motion was great, but yeah, you got to still move the legs to get credit on that. So that was the twist last week, but he got like 92, got into the 90s on that. I think the record was like 111.
I think I got 75.
Okay.
We keep great records.
But I'll take the 92.
Felt good to me. All right, so what we've got here today for our World Record Wednesday, the fastest time to eat a hot dog with no hands is 21.6 seconds. 21.6 seconds, and that is a hot dog inside the bun. Fastest time to eat one hot dog, no hands.
Do we have any handcuffs?
Yeah, they're yours, and they're furry.
Oh.
Where are they? I can't find them. I know the ones you're talking about. Someone stole my handcuffs.
Ask Chewy.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't take the innocence away from my dog. We're not doing that. Not before a challenge.
Okay, you got 2 hot dogs on your plate. My first thought might be to, move one.
You want one of them taken away? I'll take it.
I would think probably would be the best because, it's going to impede your ability to eat the other hot dog.
It's from a gas station. I'm so bummed out. Gas station hot dogs are so gnarly.
I think that's going to be tough.
It is going to be tough.
Eating a hot dog with no hands.
So, are you going to time me, and when the time's up, I stop, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna see how long it takes.
And wait, how are you going to come at this thing? Because I think you should point it the other way.
Well, hold on. So, do I eat till you say stop, or do I eat the whole thing?
You eat the whole thing. See how long it takes.
Got you.
Yeah.
Do we have any condiments?
I think I have horseradish.
Oh gosh! I didn't go to war with the right weapons.
Yeah, I think the girl that set the record, she just put a little sliver of ketchup on the dog.
And it's fascinating that a girl actually got the record because I think we have an advantage.
Really?
I would face it towards you.
Yeah, I am. I'm just trying to get in the right headspace, and I'm this whole ketchup thing. Suits, do we have any left in the emergency stash? We have an emergency sauce stash here.
Oh, we do.
But
okay. I did not know that.
I got wasabi.
All right, we're good.
Why is everything hot and nasty we have around here?
Because she's always trying to do those challenges where it's terrible.
Crystal hot sauce.
Okay. All right. There you go. Hot and nasty.
All right, it's warm. It's warm.
That's what we got there.
Okay, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to, I'm going to come at it head first.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken neck it.
Yeah, that's going to be the tactic like that. I'm going to.
This video is going to be epic.
But like eat it like that. You see what I'm saying, Kev?
Okay.
Down, straight, down.
Down, straight, down, straight. Okay. If you want to watch on KVJ TV, dial up YouTube right now. Look for the KVJ show, and you can watch. Imagine how this one would pop on a big flat screen TV, huh? Okay, here we go. World Record Wednesday. Fastest time to eat a hot dog with no hands, 21.6 seconds. Let's see how long it takes Jaybird to do it. No hands. Put your hands behind your back.
I'm just getting in a position.
Okay. All right. I was getting ready to start it here. Okay. His hands are behind his back. Okay. Here we are. On your mark. Get set. And go. All right. He's going for the hot dog first. Now, when you have a competitive eating challenge, You can eat it in any order that you want. And sometimes they'll do, in fact, most times they'll do the bun separate from the hot dog itself.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so he's
wait, now he's getting bread.
working on that. He's got a little wiener with...
But he's always had one, Kevin.
Okay, but he's got a good bit of bread. He's going for that. He's past the mark. He's at 24 seconds. So we're seeing just exactly how tough it is. The record is 21.6. So he's already passed that by 10 seconds.
He's got the little wiener down.
Yeah, he does. Okay, now he's just going to try to finish off the bread.
Half a bun remains.
Yeah, okay. He's getting at it. He's got a full mouth of hot dog and bun right now.
Push it.
He is at 46 seconds in so far is his time. Let's see if he can beat a minute. All right, he's got it all in his mouth. Okay, get all the last little crumb and done. All righty, very nice. Okay. Official time, 57.12 seconds.
That's not bad.
That's not bad, with no hands.
I thought it'd be over a minute.
Yeah, I kind of thought we were going to go well over a minute. World record 21.6. He's at 57.12.
She might barf.
Why am I tired?
Exhausted. Look at him. Okay, there you go. Another world record Wednesday attempt.
So what's the record?
The record is 21.6. You were at 57.2, so you came about 35 seconds, 36 off the mark.
Looking at the game film, what could I have done different to be better? I want to get better.
Yeah, I think it is just one of those situations where it's a matter of getting it down faster. My thought was a lot of it was you were eating down. Your face was pointed down. My guess would be throwing your neck back to open up your neck, your throat right there.
Let slide in.
Yeah, to get more hot dog down and faster. The fact that your head was down and you're trying to eat, now you're forcing it into the back of your mouth and trying to swallow. I think you'd want to get a full mouth of hot dog and bun and then work it down your pie hole.
Still much to learn.
Yeah, I mean, that's why these are impressive world records. Well, earlier we had Who is Legit Homicide Detective on here, and we had a legit homicide detective. Unfortunately, had to work the shooting at Stoneman Douglas in Parkland. He said that was pretty much the toughest case that he had ever been on. Just kind of interesting talking about the salaries and what they do. He's talking about the benefits of DNA testing and exactly how critical that has been, and the biggest tool that he says he has in his arsenal of weapons to try to find people who have murdered. And I had seen this story last week. This is kind of fascinating that there's a connection here at the show of the guy that had murdered his wife, but I think it was like in Arizona. And Jaybird, you said that you went to school with that guy?
I went to school with him in Lake Park all the way up through Palm Beach Gardens High School, and he was a popular dude, a really, really good basketball player. So when I saw that, my buddies shared it with me, Bigfoot and my buddy JR. They go, "Did you see this? The guy we grew up with," he goes, he's charged with, or not charged, he's arrested with killing his wife.
Dang.
I know.
Yeah, I almost wonder, if you could ever talk to a murderer, be like, did you ever think that you had it in you, or are you still like, I can't believe I just killed somebody?
I wonder that, because I was thinking, and that's, of course, I don't know all the details. I read the thing. There wasn't a lot of details with it, but let's just say he was guilty. I would never imagine, like looking back going, I can't believe could do that.
You never know what makes a man snap, Bird.
I guess you're right. You never know.
You think you know somebody, you don't know anybody. You don't even know yourself.
Well, to your point, Kev, did he have those? Could that have happened when he was younger? Did he grow into that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's if I were ever to interview somebody who had murdered, there would be a lot of questions that I would ask, because my first thought is, could any of us have I would think, for me, no, there's no way I could murder anybody. But could something happen where I would get into a point in my life, or I would just be so desperate or out of my mind, or maybe I get introduced to drugs and I become somebody that I'm not right now. And what happens to make somebody into that?
That's barring anybody trying to hurt your loved ones. That I think we would
all. Yeah.
But yeah, like just you all of a sudden become a murderer out of the blue.
Well, what if you're in a scenario where it's them or you?
Well, I think that's a little different.
I'm going to do everything to make sure I can.
Yeah,
It's not me.
To me, that's not a murder.
No, that's not a murder. That's self-defense. You know, we're talking about somebody who has gone out, especially when it's premeditated, where you have come up with a plan and saying, okay.
Well, it can be self-defense and still a murder when you're arrested and charged.
But I think for the sake of this, like this guy killed his...
Like a premeditated murder.
What are the details? Do you know anything?
I just know that he was arrested in another state and that it was his wife.
Was he on the run?
I don't know. It was not that...
Did it happen here?
I don't know. It just said that he had murdered his wife and that he was from the Jupiter area. He actually changed his name from high school.
He changed his name?
Did he?
I don't know.
That's shady.
Well, no. I don't think that has anything to do with the case. I think it's something else.
Did he murder her and then change his name?
No.
Or did he change it first?
Yeah. It has nothing to do with the case. It was a stupid point to even bring up. It completely confused everything.
You could be innocent and fold under questioning.
I never want to be questioned for murder because I would go to jail for murder even though I didn't do it. My heart, I would fail a lie detector test.
I think that's true.
I would. Well, anytime a cop gets behind me, I always drive around like I have 30 kilos of coke in my car.
So the basic story says David E. Anthony was arrested March 15th or on March 31st in New Mexico on kidnapping and murder charges in connection with his wife's disappearance.
Do they have the body? Disappearance? That means they haven't found a body.
Was his name David E. Anthony when you knew him?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so he had changed his name. Okay. Gretchen Anthony was last seen at her Abacoa home on March 20th. Anybody with information is
of this year?
Yes.
Wow.
He was asked to contact Jupiter Police.
This is fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
So
you said he was a basketball player and a popular guy back in high school, huh?
Big time.
Yeah.
So is it not a murder case, or is it?
She was last seen March 20th in her home in Abacoa, and her estranged husband was the last to hear from her. And Jupiter Police began investigating her disappearance. On March 26th, they did not publicly release anything regarding her disappearance or explain who reported her missing. As of Thursday afternoon, she had not been found. 5 days later, her husband was arrested in Las Cruces, New Mexico, nearly 1,900 miles west of Jupiter.
He fled.
Police announced his arrest. So it doesn't sound like they're releasing a lot in this article, but they were like, okay. You always know, too, that's the one thing I've been watching those TV shows, and they say, the first is they look at somebody close to the victim first.
Estranged husband with drama is usually a good bet.
So then it's still pending then.
Oh, absolutely. It's very fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're probably like trying to figure out how to put the case together to get him. He could sit, if he's in jail, I mean, he could sit there for a year or two. Or
is it possible he's innocent and they arrest?
Yeah. People get found not guilty and they're arrested and charged in the beginning, and then they go on trial and get found not guilty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's kind of fascinating stuff. Just when you have people, I don't know that this is necessarily, I don't think this is a homicide detective, but the person who will go through the mindset of a murderer, and they often do that, where they sit down and there's different variables that they look at and the psychology of it.
Well, the investigators, too, because I spend a lot of time with Dateline, they have to, be open to any possibility. This is why I'd be the worst detective ever, because immediately I'm very judgy and I draw my own conclusions, and you can't tell me otherwise. But they have to be, open to any possibility and investigate and get the proof. If they've already arrested him, they must have some proof.
Well,
yeah, but
maybe they don't have a whole case yet, but...
But someone in the chat room has a point, though. It can't be a murder case until they find a body, right?
They can absolutely have a murder case with no body.
Yeah, I think it's tough. I think you typically want to have a body, but I
was just listening to one on Dateline about this wife or ex-wife in Miami. He apparently pushed her overboard, her body overboard, the boat.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I remember that story, yeah.
The witness that was with him told everything and told the whole thing. There was no body, and that guy got charged.
And I think sometimes don't they officially declare them dead? And then that's...
After a certain amount of years, I believe.
Yeah.
You can't find somebody.
Ask Carol Baskin. That's how she got that insurance money.
Yeah.
When they finally declared her husband dead, that's when she got paid.
Uh-huh.
What was your friend's name when you knew him in South Florida?
I don't want to go into all those details because all this is still pending.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Did I know him?
No. It was in the paper, and it's been out there. So
It's weird that it was like Abacoa.
Yeah,
That's real close to home.
Well, like I said, I don't know all the details, and it's still pending. So
Just have to wait to see what comes out of it.
yeah, I mean, I hope it works out. I hope this is all a misunderstanding.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of interesting how somebody goes from star basketball player in high school and then, possibly at least being questioned and looked at for the
Accused, if they arrested him, they're accusing
disappearance
him.
of your wife. So there you go. All right, well, lots of bizarre stories that we've got still. A lot of them in your whacked out news today.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is kind of awkward. There's a mayor in southern Illinois that sent the cops to break up parties over the weekend for violating those stay-at-home orders. Whoopsie. They found his wife at one of them.
The mayor's wife was at a party?
Go get all those people out there. Yeah, party. Yeah. They're like, yeah, hey, mayor, we got your wife here. She's, and she might have been topless. I don't know.
She was
No,
topless?
I'm just might have been. We don't know.
I mean, what a dark day for the poor mayor.
Yeah, right. It's just kind of crazy how they're trying to break up some of this social distancing stuff, and people feel like they take it on themselves, like there's some kind of social distancing police, and then they do a lot worse than the people who are actually possibly violating the social distancing guidelines in the first place. There's a video of this doctor in Louisville, and there's, some teenagers that are out together, a group of about maybe 6 of them.
They're
and they're
partying a little bit.
goofing around. They're just
yeah.
having fun. They got out their, cameras, and they're making videos and whatnot. He gets all upset. It's at the back end of what looks like a nice neighborhood. He starts yelling at them. There's swearing going on. And then he inexplicably, attacks these teenagers. A lot of them were girls.
Yeah, he
And-
starts choking out this one girl.
Yes.
That is not social distancing.
He shoves her down. He's on top of her. He's strangling at her. He's hitting girls and others in the group. And they're like, what is wrong with you, dude?
He just snapped.
Yes. Calm down, man. I mean, what you're doing, yes, I get it. We're all freaked out by coronavirus. But what you're doing, choking out a teenage girl.
Trust me, we all want to do it.
Yes, it's a lot worse
Yeah.
than the threat of getting coronavirus.
You're going to be in big trouble now.
You now just trumped whatever they were doing by a lot. The Baltimore Police Department has launched an internal investigation into a social media video that appears to show an officer repeatedly coughing near citizens in southeast Baltimore.
But doing it on purpose.
Yes.
Because they were in an argument.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not cool.
Yeah, so they're looking at a lot of people are using coughing as a weapon now.
Everybody's getting squirrely, Kev.
They are.
You know where? You should just stay at home because there ain't no squirrely strangers in your house. It's only your squirrely relatives.
Yeah, well, some people are arguing that's what's making people squirrely. They're just losing their minds. How much longer can some people stay cooped up? Police arrested an 18-year-old girl who claimed to have the coronavirus and appeared in a Snapchat video allegedly infecting consumers at a Texas Walmart.
Oh, boy.
They charged her with a third-degree felony. She told the police, I don't have COVID-19. They're like, well, we don't have any proof of that, so we just got to, take basically...
Take you at your word
Yeah.
because you said you did.
Right. So too late.
Dummy.
Too bad, so sad. Matt Mooney, a 33-year-old father and resident of Brighton, Colorado, was accosted by police in a public park and restrained with handcuffs for playing t-ball with his wife and 6-year-old daughter on Sunday afternoon.
Was the park closed and there signs?
I think they're trying to, round people up, but there's kind of a growing list where some people are like, okay, because the rules are still kind of confusing and some people feel like some of it's overbearing. I was telling you about the people parked in their car looking at the sunset in San Diego, and they were given a $1,000 fine for sitting there in their car watching the sunset, and they're like, seriously?
That's a lot.
Yeah. It was. And so, there are some people that, are doing that. There were protesters outside an abortion clinic in California and North Carolina that have been arrested for violating the state stay-at-home orders there. And they're like, well, we're social distancing. And so, everybody's trying to fight about what their right is to be and what they can do and what they can't do. And so
It's exhausting.
It is.
It is. And, on top of it, too, it gets very confusing. Like this morning, I was watching the news, local news, and they're talking about, okay, boat ramps are going to be open in Martin County during the week, but closed on the weekends. And I'm just like, all this stuff is like, wait, what can I do? What can I not do? Who's going to enforce what?
You can fish. No, you can't fish.
Yes.
And every day it changes.
It does. It does. It's that part of it's really maddening, especially if you think you could do something and then here comes law enforcement to give you $1,000 fine.
Yeesh.
You probably wouldn't be pleased, would you?
Could not swing that.
If you got laid off 2 weeks ago and you need a moment of zen and you go sit in your car to watch a sunset and then they give you $1,000 fine,
You would hope
you might be less than zen.
that the officer would be, cool about it.
Right.
You would hope.
We got all #BeCool.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. A 101-year-old woman escaped from her nursing home in Germany to try to visit her daughter.
Aww.
Yeah, she had enough. She's like, I don't care.
That's crazy. If you get out, they won't let you back in.
Oh, yeah?
The nursing home facilities, yeah, you're not allowed to go out. If you're on a lockdown and you're an elderly person that leaves the facility, they're like, bye, don't come back.
Well, people are visiting their loved ones through the window.
Right.
There's a lot of other squirrely stuff that's going on that's not coronavirus related. A drunk woman in Vero Beach was arrested after she randomly stripped down to her underwear in the middle of a street just west of US 1 and started dancing with a golf club. Was
it hot?
I mean, it sounds like a great time.
I mean, depending on how she looked, this could be awesome.
I love me some Vero.
A homeless Key West man attacked his jail cellmate after an argument about his habit of passing gas.
Oh, my.
Guilford Abshire was already in jail on a battery charge when he beat his cellmate after relieving himself in the cell toilet.
Oh, my. This sounds like a horrible scenario.
Yes, apparently he was just...
There's poo and a beat
Yes.
down and farting.
Well, he's
and
like, hey, how about a courtesy flush? It smells terrible.
I'm with that guy.
I mean, I think there's multiple victims here.
If you're in a jail cell and you're not courtesy flushing,
He wasn't.
you are just compounding an already terrible situation.
To me, that'd be one of the worst parts of prison, pooping in front of people like that.
And it says instead of the courtesy flush, the gassy man started kicking the victim while he was on the bottom bunk.
Oh, my.
Wow.
There's a lot of wrong in
That's
it.
a rough go.
Yeah, thankfully they're no longer cellmates. Also, a woman in Fort Pierce got arrested at the Travel Inn for domestic battery for assaulting a man with a can of SpaghettiOs. People just losing their minds. How about that? Good time for police chases. First of all, there's not a lot of traffic in Los Angeles, and apparently it's the rainy season because they say that a guy actually managed to escape during an hour-long police chase thanks to a rainstorm.
Wow.
Became
it's
cloudy.
Weird
Yeah.
right now in Los Angeles. There's no smog in Los Angeles
Right.
because all the cars are parked, and it's raining.
Yep.
Something weird's going on.
Yeah, they do get some rain a little bit during the rainy time of year, but yeah, it is odd. I mean,
If you live there, you're going to be like, whoa.
there's a lot of weird stuff
It's a
going
lot
on.
of weird.
Yeah. And a suspect in Detroit handed off a baby to somebody else in the middle of a car chase. They gotta be like, oh, yeah, hey, I'm kind of in the middle of something. Could you watch this kid for a while? Just drove off.
Well, at least they kept the baby safe.
Keep in mind, too, this is the whacked out news. It always seems like, Armageddon times during the whacked out news. It's the
Always
crazy of the
something
crazy.
Yeah. And a guy dropped his wallet while he was robbing a bank in Colorado on Monday. But before the cops got there, somebody else stole the wallet. So now the police are trying to track down the wallet thief so they can use it to catch the bank thief. Just the chaos,
The
huh?
bank thief is like, sweet.
Right.
This is the best luck ever.
Thank you for stealing my wallet.
This is 97.9 WRMF Palm Beach.
Seen a major uptick in the emails that we're getting with people having relationship problems. And I think part of what's going on here is the quarantine and all the situations that it's bringing to you with the stay-at-home order is causing problems in relationships. And then two, you don't really have the circle of friends you used to be able to go and reach out to as easily to be like, hey, so this kind of thing happened. So I think maybe people are like, oh, there's KBJ. I guess I just sent him an email. Got kind of a make-up or breakup situation here with Dana. She's not real happy with her girlfriend over something that happened, I think, over last weekend. Dana, what exactly went on here, and what are your thoughts? We'll try to give you a reading on it.
Okay, so my girlfriend was over my house last weekend, and she was, drinking all day.
Mm-hmm.
And, by nighttime, she was just so wasted, And, I wasn't wasted at all. So it was kind of like just weird to see her, I don't know, doing
Yeah,
stupid stuff.
it's kind of annoying. I think that's kind of happening if you're in your home, and it's always been that way. If you're sober and somebody else is completely annoyingly drunk, then it's a bad combo, and some people under the same roof might not be handling it the same way. Somebody might be completely sober and somebody's going to be completely blasted, and they're obviously going to get on your nerves. So
Especially if it's at 9 a.m.
Yes, it is. So that's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Well, geez, if you're drinking all day, I mean, you're probably cracking one open as soon as you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was just wasted. And so I was like, you know what? Just like stay over and let's go to bed soon. So I told her like the last thing before I went to bed was that like, don't take my dog out because like I already took my dog out and like if you leave the front door open, like my dog will just run.
Oh.
And I know that like my girlfriend was like not in any condition to keep up with my dog,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm. I get it.
And so the next morning, like, I wake up and she's passed out on the couch. And, like, I cannot find my dog, and I'm kind of freaking out.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It was so nerve-wracking, you know? And so I was like, wake up. I was like, Lola, get up. Like, we have to look for my dog. And she's like, no, I'm too hungover. Like, I'm going to throw up if I move.
Okay. That's kind of annoying. So,
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So she lets the dog out. Now she's too hungover to go look for the dog that she let out in her drunken state. Okay.
Yeah. And so, like, I have to go out. Like, I'm driving around for 2 hours, like, walking and driving around my neighborhood. I can't find my dog. I'm, like, freaking out. And by the time I get back home, like, she's drinking again. She's having mimosas with my neighbor, like, on my couch. And, yeah, I was just so pissed off. Like, I just lost it, and I kicked her out. I was like, don't come back. Like, once you find my dog, don't come back.
Yeah, I get it.
And so, like, later that night, like, my neighbor finally brought my dog back. Apparently, my dog had, like, run over to his house. And so, I don't know, it's been, like, a few days now. I just feel like maybe I overreacted. We've been, like, dating for 2 years, you know? So I don't know if I should, like, apologize to her and, like, ask her to get back together or what.
Okay.
No.
Should you apologize?
No, you should not apologize, and you should not want to get back together with her. I mean, what is she, like super hot or something? This girl is an idiot.
Well, do you give any kind of forgiveness? I mean, I don't know if she's typically this careless, if she is typically this much of a drinker, because obviously she's drinking too much in this situation. She's not caring about your feelings.
She's also not practicing proper social distancing if she's having mimosas with your neighbor on the sofa.
The other thing, too, is, I mean, accidents are going to happen. It's the next day when she doesn't help you look for the dog because she's too hungover. Right
and then
there,
she starts drinking again.
That alone right there,
Yeah.
Wallace Pennington, that's hurt enough.
2 year relationship's over, huh?
I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have more respect for yourself.
You lose Chewy, and then you don't go. You're the one that lost Chewy. Then you don't go help me because you're too hungover. Yeah,
Right.
we're done. We're not.
And then by the time you get back, she is having mimosas with the neighbor.
Yeah, we're broke. We're breaking up.
We're done. I'm telling
Yeah.
you right now, she's hot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's definitely.
She's
hot.
way hot.
She's
Ugly
absolutely
girls
hot.
don't get away with this kind of behavior.
Yeah.
She's thinking about taking her back.
Are you saying if she was ugly, she would have helped her look?
I'm saying if she's ugly, she wouldn't want her back.
Is there anybody out there that would apologize, take her back, and say, yeah, okay, you get a little bit of a pass because it's coronavirus and maybe you're not your true self? Are you giving relationships more leniency during this period?
No.
None.
Not now.
Not that situation.
Not that
Yeah.
situation.
That scenario. Oh hell no.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, so true. You know, Courtney is in our KVJ TV chat room right now, and she said, you know, these times show people's true self.
Yes.
It is very true. And, you know, in some instances, this actually might be good for your relationship. You may have been with somebody that, you know, good times Mike.
Right.
And, hey, when the good times are rolling, Mike is awesome to be around. He's the best boyfriend ever. But when the times get a little challenging, Mike is a complete tool and a douche, and you don't want him in your life.
You don't.
And the coronavirus is helping you see that. And you're going, you know what? I need somebody better than good time Mike. Yeah, when things are great, Mike's around, and Mike's awesome to be with. But that doesn't make a long-term relationship.
We need solid as a rock, Mike.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
Stepping up, Mike.
Absolutely. I don't know if this is a good time Mike here from Coral Springs, but his name is Mike. Hello, Mike. What's up, bud?
What's going on, guys?
Now, you're saying that you think that maybe Dana should do a little bit of a makeup with her girlfriend. Now, her girlfriend got drunk over the weekend, and as Dana was going to bed, she's like, hey, just whatever you do, I let the dog out. Don't let him out because he's a runner. And she wakes up the next morning. Her girlfriend is passed out on the couch. Dog is gone. And, of course, the drunk girlfriend let her out. She's like, let's go look for the dog. She's like, I can't. I'm too hungover. I'm going to throw up. She goes out by herself. Dana does. Looks for the dog for a couple hours. No luck. Comes back, and her girlfriend is now having mimosas with the neighbor who came over. And she's furious, and she kicks her girlfriend out. And now she's like, okay, that was over the weekend. Had a little time to calm down.
She got the dog back.
Maybe I overreacted, is what she thought. Because you can imagine the entire 2 hours she was out looking for the dog, she has to be seething.
Yeah.
So imagine how mad you are with everything going on, and the frustration is increasing by the minute. And then you come home, and there's your girlfriend having mimosas when she was too hungover to help you 2 hours earlier.
I encourage the dog to bite her. And then if the dog won't, I'll do it.
So Mike, it's a 2-year relationship. You think there's not enough info to break up over this?
Absolutely. I think there's not enough info. You know, I really think that she even kind of slipped in there at the end that, you know, and then my dog was at my neighbor's. How do we know that her girlfriend, you know, that the neighbor told her, hey, I got the dog over, so let's have a mimosa. She's like, oh, good. And then she came home, like, really furious and kicked her out, and she didn't even have time to let her know. Look, the dog's okay, and it's at the neighbor's. She may have even told her, but she might have left that part out.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's in a different state of mind right now during Corona. The girl's probably not even drunk, but this is how she's coping with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think after 2 years you just break up with her over one incident. That's my thing.
Okay.
Sounds like you've accidentally let out a dog.
Sounds like he's accidentally lost a few dogs.
Good time, Mike. Yeah.
Good time, Mike.
Good time,
Good
Mike.
time, Mike.
Yeah, good time,
The number is 5. Have you lost more or less dogs than 5, Mike?
And that's it.
I hear
We
you.
found them.
I like it, though. Good time, Mike's got a forgiving heart.
He admits that he lost one.
It happens. It happens.
I love the honesty. You're awesome.
What he's saying is the one point. It is going to be a case-by-case situation, though. But I can see that. How much of a pass do you give somebody because of the added stress of coronavirus? Because you may be with somebody right now that is driving you absolutely crazy. They were awesome before coronavirus. Now they're not so awesome to be with. But be like, okay, just remember, they're not dealing with this whole situation very well. They're great, and when coronavirus is over, I'm going to love being in a relationship with them. I don't like it right now, but I got to suck it up through this.
That's why you're forgiving for them getting smashed and letting out the dog on accident, because that was an accident. You were... But the next day,
the
your
follow-up.
hungover ass can't get up and help me. Oh,
And then you start drinking again.
Oh, hell no.
That's the part that makes me mad.
come on, good time, Mike.
We knew he'd lost the dog.
You're listening to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
Our KVJ Heroes of the Day. Thank you so much for the emails that we're getting. People saying, hey, there are people that are actually really out here doing a lot of great stuff. And I want to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing. So if you've got somebody to shout out, send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com. Just even little simple things are really going a long way and really pushing the needle and making people's days a lot better. I want to shout out a FedEx delivery driver in Boca that took extra precautions to help protect a child with an autoimmune disorder while recently delivering a package. The woman has a sign posted at the entrance of her home notifying anybody delivering a package that her 11-year-old has an autoimmune disorder. She tweeted out photos of a package recently left at her door by a FedEx driver with a note written on it. The driver saw her sign, returned to his truck, and wiped down the package with sanitizer wipes. And before leaving, he wrote a note on the box saying, I sanitized your box once. I've seen the note on the door. So he now is sanitizing all of their packages before leaving them, which that's above and beyond. I think something
Way
that is
above
really
and
awesome.
beyond.
Yeah.
You can just do what I'm doing, leave them out there for a few days and then open them. As long as they're non-perishable, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it's perishable.
Perishable,
you're going to get possums.
It's not good.
You're going to get raccoons.
Somebody texted in and said, yeah, I had bird sauce for the first time today when Buds dropped off lunch for the hospital workers at Good Sam Medical Center today. It was awesome. Give them a shout out for us.
I saw that. Yes. Buds was going to hospitals and feeding. They fed St. Mary's the other day, too.
They're great with the community.
I love it.
That's why we love them.
Yes.
There's a restaurant chain here in Florida called Dats, and they've been selling off their collection of rare alcohol to keep paying their employees. And their most expensive bottle was a 25-year-old bourbon. They're trying to sell for $20,000, and an anonymous customer doubled that and gave them $40,000 for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, do you drink that, or do you keep that as a piece in your place?
You drink it, but you only have one shot at a time. You don't mix it, and you space them out by like once a month.
And that drink is not going to get you any drunker or make it any more magical than any. It's just
It's
weird.
about the taste.
It's weird though what makes those things.
That person's
valuable.
not like me and you. They're not drinking for a buzz.
Well, that one was that Louis the.
Yeah.
What was that, Louis
the 13th?
It's so expensive. And
Yeah.
it doesn't even taste that good.
Yes, it does.
Oh, come on.
I have had it, and it definitely tastes way better.
You can tell if I got Jameson, I got that right in front of you, and you're blindfolded.
Get out of here! It's
For
not
you,
even
maybe.
close.
Yeah. But for somebody that knows it and their palate's
Everybody-
really dialed in.
No, you don't have to have a good palate to know the difference between Jameson and Louis the Louis. No.
I wish I could do that right. I wish I could do that with her right now.
What's that?
That little comparison.
I've tasted it. I know the difference. It's not even close.
Really?
It's that much different.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to bring up that whole wine competition when I don't want to bring that up.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to bring it up yet. You are. And just remember who beat you in a dance-off yesterday. Unofficially.
We tied unofficially.
Whatever. Rigged.
Shout out to the Florida Panthers. Not only they've been giving money to the BB&T center workers that are there to keep them paid during
That's
this.
beautiful.
Yeah, but now the Panthers goalie has stepped up and he's buying N95 masks for employees there and things like that. So they're doing their part in the pandemic. So the Panthers have been great for that.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And I've got just some positives, too, just for anybody out there. Yesterday in Palm Beach County, the amount of new cases only grew 7%. Why this is big is because I think it's starting to show that the pace of the spread of the coronavirus is starting to slow, because 4 days ago, Palm Beach County cases rose by 24% in a 24-hour period.
Okay.
I know the number 7 is less than 24.
Yeah, we do know that. We don't know
Yeah.
math well.
Right. So that is a good sign. And federal stimulus checks may start arriving this week. So that is some good stuff and good news for people out there.
Yes.
Well, we want to always be shouting out people that are doing some really cool stuff and helping people, especially here locally, that are just trying to kind of make ends meet. And we're all kind of going through this. But, you know, when people are stepping up and doing some really awesome stuff for people, just a little bit of money here and there, well, I definitely salute them. So send us those emails, mail@kvjshow.com. And we got just a couple more days. We're going to be showcasing our bartenders here for the KVJ Adopt a Bartender. And if you are wait staff, start sending us those videos now. We'll begin those on Monday. If you were laid off and you used to be a server somewhere, we want to take care of our service industry people because they take care of us when we don't have the coronavirus going on. So all you have to do is just send us a video, 20 seconds or less, your name and where you used to work and a little bit about yourself, and make sure you have a Venmo so that people are going to be able to send you some money. So that's pretty much all it's about. Kind of like with Lauren. Then you go to our website. If you'd like to just drop $5 in everybody's account, you can do that. Lauren here is one of our Adopt a Bartenders here today at kvjshow.com.
Good afternoon, KVJ. As you can see, I'm social distancing, not working as of March 18th. I work at Outback Steakhouse. I got basically laid off until they reopen. It is impossible to file for unemployment right now, and anybody that is able to help, it will be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Very nice. The thing that I love, about that too, is I saw a survey that found the past 2 weeks, more than 1 in 5 Americans have donated to causes that are helping other people who've been impacted by the crisis.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is really cool, isn't it? I think it's just really nice. It just goes on to show you exactly what people are doing here, stepping up and making good stuff happen. So, very cool. Oh, yeah. Coming up, we got the After the Show podcast. You can watch live on YouTube. It is going to be about 10:15, as it is every single weekday. And if you miss any of it, don't worry about it, because it's always on demand. You can go and check it out. Watching us on YouTube, listening to us on the 97.9 WRMF app. If you don't have that, download that. You can actually leave us little messages. I'm asking for people today because we seem to wind up kind of doing these ridiculous, mundane things. But, it's just kind of the way that everybody's living right now. You just got to. So we got this mic drop feature. So I'm asking for people to download the 97.9 WRMF app, use the mic drop, and give us a quick update of your very exciting life. What is it you are doing right now? And when I say exciting, I mean sarcastically exciting, because a lot of anything we're doing is not very exciting right now. Like, I actually was very pumped. I power washed the bar out back on Sunday, and man, that was the most thrilling thing I've done in 2 weeks.
I get it.
It was exciting.
I put a rock garden down, one rock at a time, like a puzzle, and I thought it was so cool.
See, that would be great. That'd be a great update on the mic drop. Hey, this is Virginia, just checking in. I just laid my rock garden. Back to you, Kev.
Hi, this is Jason. I just made a makeshift restaurant for my figures.
Perfect. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for.
But you did that before Corona.
You're right.
You've been a nerd for a while.
Cool thing about this is you can also listen to WRMF and the KVJ show when you download the app absolutely for free. So go check it out in your app store. It is 97.9 WRMF app. All right, Bird, if you'd wrap us all up today with your thought, my friend.
Thank you, Kevin. Never make permanent decisions on temporary feelings. Oh,
that's kind of like our girl today.
Yeah.
Good job, hot dog.
Listen to the KVJ Show anytime you want on your home speaker. Just use the voice command, play the KVJ Show podcast. 97.9 WRMF.